everyone, and welcome back to the Ability 411. I'm Amber Marcy, your host on Wednesdays. Glad everyone's back again for another week of the Ability 411. This week I'm here to talk to you a little bit about stigmas. Gotta love those stigmas they put on us wheelchair users. The first stigma that really bothers me that I get quite often is, wow, you're way too pretty to be in a wheelchair. I have to be ugly to be in a wheelchair? And I gotta be pretty to walk. That doesn't make any sense. There are some very good-looking people that walk. There are some not-so-good-looking people that walk. There are some good-looking people that wheel. There are not so good-looking people. So there are not people that are so good-looking that wheel. Looks have nothing to do whether you're in a wheelchair or not. This is a huge stigma that needs to be addressed, that is absolutely asinine and ridiculous. I get this more often than you would think, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Just because a person is good looking or maybe hasn't been blessed with the best looks, doesn't matter whether they're in a chair or not. Shouldn't matter whether you're walking or whether you're in a chair, what you look like. Second stigma: you're in a wheelchair. You must not be able to date. Who's going to date you because you're in a wheelchair? You can't do this and you can't do that. And, oh my gosh, look at that person. I date. I have sex. I've been in love. It all happens. So there again, that stigma, for me and for my friends that you have seen in the previous days, Tiffany and Erica, also have shown you. We can be in relationships. Erica with 3 children. Tiffany who's had boyfriends. This is another ridiculous stigma. There are many other stigmas out there on people with wheelchairs. Another number that really bothers me, I don't know what number this is on my list, is you're in a wheelchair and you're a quadriplegic? You mean you're like Christopher Reeves, right? If you're a quadriplegic, you can't move anything. How can you drive? There are so many different levels of spinal cord injuries. I broke my C6 and 7th vertebrae. And I have an incomplete injury. Therefore, I have full feeling, but I can't move everything. Doesn't mean I can't drive. My arms move. I drive my car. I wheel my chair. I do everything I need to do. But I pull through a drive-through, and somebody will look at me and say, "What is all that? Is that like a GPS?" When they look at my computer, is that where you don't have to steer the car, it just takes you? And I say, no, those are my hand controls. I'm in a wheelchair. Because I drive from a regular chair. I transfer into a transfer seat and drive from a regular chair. So it can be a little bit deceiving. People will look at me and think, what is this crazy apparatus? And think that I have, these crazy abilities to push buttons and just get where I need to go. No, not really. Just my hand controls. Pretty simple. Pretty awesome that I can drive. Lots of other stigmas. Lots. I go skiing. I play rugby. I go out with my friends. I can't tell you the looks that I get when I go on the dance floor. Wow, that girl's going to go out there and dance? She's in a wheelchair. I don't give a crap what people think about the way I dance. Or I'm in a wheelchair. But I can tell you what, the looks that I get are awful. Some people don't know what to say. They don't know how to act. And then you get, the weird drunk guy who wants to dance all over you and is just creepy and weird. So you get that too. There are lots of stigmas placed in the wheelchair world and the disability world. And it's not only those with spinal cord injuries. Huge stigma on mental illness. I have a huge issue with this. I go to a lot of mental health rallies. One, I was at the Capitol in the state of Michigan where I live in Lansing. I was there when I was Miss Wheelchair Michigan. I was so disappointed. There was no media. there was nothing to recognize these amazing people who were rallying for rights because they had mental illness. Nobody there, no television, no newspaper, nothing to show the community how much these people were rallying for their rights. Ridiculous. Another stigma. Mental illness is a disability. It may not be visual, like me. I wheel around like my fellow friends that are on this YouTube channel. You know, you can see our disability. Not everything. You know, not the inside. But you can see that we have a physical disability. There are many other disabilities out there that you can't see that have so many stigmas placed on them, which is just absolutely ridiculous. The number one stigma that really, really bugs me. First time I meet someone, can you still have sex? No, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm broken. I can't have sex. Yeah, right. Give me a break. I can do whatever I want. But that's another stigma placed on us. You're in a wheelchair, you must not be able to have sex. You must not be able to do anything. When there's a will, there's a way. You want to drive, you want to be in a relationship, you want to go skydiving, you want to have children, whatever you want to do, you can do it. You need to put your mind to it. You need to ignore the stigmas. You need to educate people that just because we're in chairs doesn't make us any different. Erica is an amazing, amazing gal who spoke with you yesterday and talked about the stigmas of being a mother and how could she ever do it being in a chair. I don't have the desire to be a mother, but I've seen many, many of my friends in chairs who are amazing parents, have amazing children who turn out just as normal as if they had a parent who was on their 2 feet, if not better, because they understand the disability world. The stigmas that are placed on us today are absolutely asinine. I have brought up a few, and there are more. And if you have any questions on these stigmas or how to deal with them without getting upset or saying the wrong things to somebody who may have really upset you by assuming that stigma, educate them. Use it as a chance to educate. Try not to get upset. Educate them and say, you know what? Somebody comes up to you and says, you're just way too pretty to be in a wheelchair. Well, you know what? I may be pretty, but I'm pretty sitting and I'm pretty standing. Either way. I hope you guys enjoyed my segment today. Let's stop breaking those stigmas and move on. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Wednesday.